Welcome to A Talk with Armani. I am your host, Armani Iman, and I am so excited to be part of the U2 America family. I'll be coming into your home each and every week, talking to real people about real issues. Today, I have an exciting show planned for you, and we'll start it when we come back after this message. For my guests, I have sitting with me a young lady who decided to leave the corporate world behind, hang her own shingle, get her own business card, and start her own business. Please help me in welcoming, and I don't want to mess your name up, Amber Brandenburg. Thank you for joining me, Amber. And Brandenburg, is that that's your maiden name or your married name?
Yeah, so definitely thank you for having me here. This is a great opportunity. And no, it's I was born with that, so I'm ready. Well, I'm not ready, but whenever I get married, I prefer that they have one.
So, what do you do?
So everything.
Okay.
I'm a full-time realtor.
Okay.
And so my day starts 6 a.m. roughly, and I'm getting emails until about midnight. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So okay, of course we've all used a realtor. We've all searched for a house or an apartment or something. The life of a realtor, how does that start? So you're getting email 6 o'clock in the morning, and then you're walking around in slippers and robe until about 8, and then is it really the lifestyle where you kind of set your own schedule and do things, or are you out the door?
Okay, so if you're in a robe at noon, you're a bad realtor. Just to kind of be honest.
Okay.
And so you do set your own schedule, kind of, but the reality is that your schedule has to be amenable to your client's schedule. So a lot of times, most people work 9 to 5, so you're working in the evenings and then early mornings.
Okay.
Just depends on your clients and their needs. Now, there's a lot of behind the scenes legwork that goes into real estate.
Of course.
Yeah, you've got to find the properties, you've got to make appointments with the agents, reach out with them, and get everything situated. Traffic, the smartest route, all that great stuff put together. Know everything about your property prior to. Yeah, it's a lot, but it's a great feeling. When when your house. Yeah, I did that.
How difficult is that? You saw the commercial. There's a commercial right now where, and I forget the actress's name, and the person is doing the violin, and they find the perfect closet, or they find the perfect bathroom, or they find the perfect room. How easy is it for someone to give you their wish list and you find the house? Can you just punch it into a database, or what do you have to do?
So, can I just say that there's no such thing, y'all, as a perfect house. There's no such thing as perfect house.
Oh, okay.
So when you buy a car, and when the car that you got, was it what you were looking for?
Yeah, but not exactly, right.
So home buying is a lot of the same.
Okay.
I feel like I meet clients and they tell me they want this and they want that, and then 5 houses later, it's completely different. So it just depends. There are databases, but a lot of times I find that people end up a little different than what they started. And since you can't have it all, it's kind of just what you absolutely have to have versus what you have, and then your budget. I mean, that's the reality depending on what area in our particular market that you are.
Okay, so if I say, hey, Amber, I need you to find me a rancher on 6 acres of land, and it has to have a master bathroom that is at least 800 square feet, but the master bedroom has to be 2,000 square feet. You can plug all that into a database, and it'll come up close, or is it something then where it just kind of?
Also, because we're all independent agents, it depends on the listing agent how accurate and how specific they uploaded their data. So if they failed to put the exact dimensions on a closet, and that's something that you have to have, then I get to keep looking until I'm able to find that. So it's just it depends.
Have you ever had a client and you just could not find them what they were looking for? They just were not satisfied.
Well, I wouldn't say not satisfied, because I pride myself on exceeding expectations and making sure that they're having a good time and not being discouraged. But it is difficult, and like I said, budget comes into play a lot. And so the biggest thing that I juggle is setting realistic expectations. What do you have to have? What does your budget allow? Now, we're fortunate, there's custom home builders, and so I can change anything. I can make a phone call. I've got contractors tons of vendors, and I'm fortunate to have that. So we can do it. It's just, does your pocket allow you to have that? And then how realistic is something going to be? And then you have to think resale value. You don't want to customize your house too much, because then when you go to sell it, it's negative. You're putting in all this money to fix it, and then your next buyer doesn't like that.
Doesn't like what you did.
Like what you did.
Right. So is there a tool that can be used for someone to evaluate what their actual buying power is? Like you're saying budget. So, maybe I think that having $300,000 should be able to get me whatever I want. But then when I get to shopping, I find out that it doesn't get me half of what I want.
Right.
How can I find out how much buying power I actually have?
Find out what you actually are able to qualify for. And then, I'm fortunate enough that some of my favorite lenders, they tell you, like, do you want to be here? You can actually be here, that sort of factor in this, HOA, other bills that you have.
Right.
And make sure, you can get more house or less house, just whatever you want. So
Right.
that's my number one advice. And then also, can I just say, I actually work with a lot of young buyers. Buying a home is one of the biggest financial investments.
Of course.
And I would love to stress to anyone that's kind of on the fence, like, don't wait. If that's something that you can do it. And I don't think it's as hard as a lot of people think to do.
Okay.
Especially here in Atlanta, if I'm allowed to say. A lot of people pay and rent mortgage. I see it all the time. So definitely, that's an investment in yourself. And so that's your first step, I would say, to becoming your own business of yourself and your own, long term, and not working for someone else, and is having your own investment.
And what about that? The market goes up and down, and maybe someone's not in a position to buy. Renting is definitely a viable option.
Absolutely.
So, is it more of, if you can afford to, to buy, go ahead and buy, against renting? Or, because I know some people who only want to rent. They just say, I'm just going to rent. I'm not buying a house. I'm just renting.
It's okay. So and this is the realtor in me. I say, stop paying someone else's mortgage. That's the realtor in me.
Okay.
If you are going to be in an area for just a super short amount of time, and you don't have furniture, and you can rent something fully furnished in and out. It's cheaper than like a hotel or something like that. But the reality is, it's not hard to be the one that someone else is paying your mortgage for you. I've sold houses to people, and they don't live in them very long, and rent them out, and they're someone else is paying their mortgage.
Okay.
So if you can do it.
Okay.
I'll help you either way. I work with rentals as well.
Okay, no problem. Well, again, you can reach Amber by her mobile app, which is amazing, at Buy with Amber.
Just
and
text it, Buy with Amber.
Buy with Amber, and we will, and also her email address and her website will be on the credits in the end of the show. And if you want to contact her and you didn't get this information, you can always go to my website, which is, of course, talkwitharmani.com, and you will see her business card there. You can click on that, and it will give you all her information. Thank you so much, Amber, for coming and sharing with us the mysteries of the real estate world, but also for showing us how deciding to be your own boss and do your own thing, has obviously keeps a smile on your face, even though it may be a lot of hard work, but you're doing it and you're doing it well.
It is, and thank you. And back to what you said earlier with the people who worked really hard. I had 3 jobs, right?
Okay.
Before I was a realtor.
Okay.
And I feel like I work more now. So it's definitely not easy, but well worth it.
Okay.
So thank you.
You're more than welcome, and thank you. We'll be right back. Today, for our hot topic, I have again with me Dayara Akandov, who I keep messing up her name, and we're going to talk about a project that she did, which went behind the scenes of prostitution and explored a lot of the issues that they deal with, including murder.
Yes.
Welcome, Dayara.
Thank you for having me again.
So the name of your project was Backpage Murders.
Backpage murders, black girls died too.
Wow.
The reason we say black girls died too is because all these girls, young girls, were killed in cold blood murder, and we've never ever heard the stories.
Okay, so why Backpage? What is Backpage?
So Backpage is a website that solicits and allows, in their own way, for prostitution to go on. They understand that we understand that 75% of their revenue comes from that part of their website. Now, it was just like Craigslist. At one time, Craigslist was the same way, that there was all these sites, and you can sell cars, you can sell furniture, you can sell whatever you want, and you can sell yourself.
Wait, so there is a website which is called Backpage that someone can go to and order themselves a prostitute?
Yes, to your door, or you can go to.
Are you? Am I that out of touch? Like, are you serious? Backpage. Send me tall, brown, muscular, with a dimple, and voila, it pops up at your door like dominoes.
Well, no, not like dominoes, but there's pictures of girls, that are, you just go on the website and you go to the escort service, or, because pornography is legal, this is legally going on illegally.
Okay. Okay.
So these girls are, and it'll show you different girls, beautiful girls. Like, you'd be like, oh my God, like, really?
But are these real girls? Like, did these girls really put their posts? Because, you go on Instagram and you see some pictures of some people, and then you run across them in the street and you be like, well, what's the tootie? Like, that's... What did you use? The picture in the frame? Like, are these really these girls that are posting it? So this is a voluntary... Okay, now we have to also explore the possibility of sex trafficking. Is this site being manned and run by sex traffickers? Are these people really voluntarily putting up their profiles and showing up for these dates?
Well, here's the thing. We used to, in a time, call them pimps. Now they're called managers. Oh yeah, there's a different term for it. So now they're called managers. They're no longer pimps. People don't really understand the term sex trafficking. Sex trafficking is everything. Taking a girl and flying her out from one state to another to work for you is sex trafficking.
Right.
Taking a girl in a car from one state to another state is sex trafficking. Whether she volunteers for it or doesn't volunteer for it, it's still considered sex trafficking.
Right, of course.
So these girls are basically voluntarily, yes, most of them. The worst thing about it is a lot of these girls would laugh at a girl like me.
Okay.
Like, they'd be like, what do you mean? You have no idea how much money you can make. But they don't see the result of what's happening to these other girls.
So these women are working. They've chosen this as their profession.
Yes.
This is what they want to do. Okay, we can't argue with that.
No.
They've chosen to be an escort or a prostitute or whatever we call them now. Yeah. And that's what they've chosen to do. They know the risk. They've set their price, and that's what they're willing to do. Why are they being targeted for violence or murder?
Well, unfortunately, with a business like this, you don't know who's coming to knock on your door. You don't know anything about this person. The only thing you know that they're willing to pay for sex.
So is this sex gone wrong, or do you think these people are actually seeking out victims?
Well, in the film, one of the cases, the reason the whole film was being made, there was a young girl, her name's Africa Hardy, and she got murdered. And because she created such a violent crime scene, the man who murdered her was attached to 7 other murders. So he was a serial killer. And this is how, I don't know, he got turned on, or I don't know, because I can't imagine myself in his head. But
wow.
7 other women.
So we have serial killers that are on these websites, trolling these websites, looking for prostitutes or companions, but ultimately they're looking for their next victim.
Yes.
Ultimately, they're looking for the next person that they're going to kill and dismember and just commit all kinds of horrible crimes. That is, oh my God. So what I guess the next thing is you can't avoid it because this is your trade. You know, these women have chosen to this trade. They've chosen this career. You know, I don't think it's much different than almost anything else. They can't avoid it, and then it's like, and or their milk and their money comes from strangers. If you don't accept strangers, then you don't make any money. So, oh my gracious, this is just
it's crazy. It really is. A lot of these girls. I've spoken to a girl who is a prostitute, and she was beaten, whiplashed with a gun, like to the point of where she didn't know if she was going to survive. But in the next morning, she went back to work like nothing happened.
Back on the street. Is she on the street? She's in the page. No, she's back to.
She's in her hotel waiting for the next person to come. Yeah.
I know a young lady that told me that she worked in Vegas when it was fights, in Atlantic City when it was shows. And I was like, okay.
They're marketing to those celebrities.
And I'm thinking she's a promoter, and then she just flat out was like, no, you know, I got to do this, I got to do that. And they get, you know, I know a young woman that has gotten like her boobs done and her waist is tighter and her butt is bigger. Like they're taking this to the next level. They have taken the world's oldest profession and put a spin on it and created this multi-billion-dollar industry with the same product, lying on your back or performing some type of sex act and getting paid for it. Again, there's no judgment. Absolutely but not. There's these fools out there that want to take that same professional and rip them to shreds simply because of what? Like, is it just a hate? Is it a hate crime because they're targeting prostitutes? Like, can we say that it's a hate crime because they're targeting prostitutes? Or are they just looking for a victim and that's the best way to get them?
I don't think it's necessarily a hate crime. It's just that it would surprise our minds the things that people are really into. You know, you can start choking somebody and then that choking gets completely out of control. You know, so it's just the personal preference of these people, these men, who mostly men, who are, you know, just that's the pleasure.
You know
what?
Turn on. I have to tell you this, and this is just my own opinion. If I was you ladies or men, because just as many men, you know, are out there providing their services as well. If I were you, I would definitely just try to do what you can do. But as far as I'm concerned, yes, this is a hate crime. You are targeting a certain class of people for violence, regardless of who it is. And if somebody is caught, you know, killing or harassing or assaulting, I don't care what it is. You're no less of a person just because you've chosen to sell your body. If you know that, you know, this person is a repeat offender of, you know, assaulting or committing some type of violent act against you or somebody, you are a group of people, a certain class of people, and you should try to get this person off the street. You should just do it. And your voice can be heard. It can be heard, regardless of what your profession is. You know, we've already said color doesn't matter. We've already said, you know, sex doesn't matter. We already say all these things don't matter. So your profession doesn't matter. We really need to protect ourselves and utilize whatever resources we can to keep ourselves safe, because murder is murder. It doesn't matter what you do. Murder is murder.
And with that comes the question of, should we legalize prostitution?
Well, it doesn't even really matter if we legalize it at this point. Like, it doesn't, you know, they say, should we legalize marijuana? And then they legalize it in some places, and then there's a whole big controversy about that. All these things we legalize, fools been killing people for a long time. Right. And they're going to continue to kill them because some people, unfortunately, have a potential for violence. These weak people that have decided that they want to pull out a fantasy of some sort. You know, oh, it wasn't enough that I strangled my cat. Let me strangle this live person. You know, but just because a person, you feel as though they do it because they feel like that person won't go to the cops or nobody won't care about them.
Right.
They feel like that, well, I care. So if you're in a situation where you feel as though you are prone to violence, again, you get no judgment at all from me. Reach out to me. Come to my website, talkwitharmani.com. Send me an email, Armani@talkwitharmani.com. Call me. It's toll free. 8555-7 Call me. Let's figure out what's going on. How do we get help? How do we get these resources? If that's the way you get your money, then, you know, Jay-Z said go and hustle hard. What I'm saying is you don't have to die doing it.
Situation where you put yourself in prostitution, that is the reality of it.
But is that an excuse to accept the fact that just because I'm a prostitute, I'm going to go ahead and let this man beat the slap on me to the point where I'm almost dead?
No, you don't.
Right. We don't have to do that.
You don't go to the police. You don't go, you know, it gets taken care of in other ways, or it doesn't get taken care of at all.
Yeah, they don't want to go to the police because they feel ashamed of what they've done. But the bottom line is, don't be ashamed to be a human being. Yeah. Don't be ashamed to want to live.
And with the film, like, that's what we try to say. We're not capturing on the girls for being prostitutes. That's not the point of the film. The point of the film is that these girls were killed in cold blood murder, and nobody ever heard about it.
Well, because they're swept to the side, and society as a whole deem these people for what, just because they sell their body, they're a lesser than.
Yes.
Well, no, that's not a true statement. And, you know, I get all riled up because equality should be equality regardless of what it is, whether it is sex, whether it is color, whether it's profession, whether the way you wear your hair, or if you don't have any hair. Equality should be equality. And when we are out here marching and talking and hollering and screaming about it, we need to be equal all the way across the board. Exactly. Thank you so much for joining me for the topic. I get riled up, but again, these are real issues.
It's real
right.
Stuff. This is
and these are real issues that affect real people. Yes. We'll be right back. Welcome back. And thank you once again for joining me on A Talk with Armani. Every single time I come with you, I try to bring you real issues that affect real people. I invite you to go to my website, atalkwitharmani.com, and follow up with these people. If you or someone you love are affected by any of these issues, feel free to reach out to me for resources and assistance. Until next time, stay safe. They ain't moving like she moving. They can't do it like we'll do it.